So for today's webinar, our topic is content and assets for your business. Content and assets for your business. And we have a content creator in our midst who will be shedding more light on this. Her name is Gloria Ugande. Gloria is a seasoned content creator with over 4 years of experience crafting compelling long form and short form content that drives engagement and adds value. With a strong background in digital marketing, she has helped businesses develop and execute content strategies that enhance their brand presence, boost engagement, and generate sales. Her expertise extends beyond content creation. Gloria has worked in the digital marketing space where she developed effective content ideas tailored to business objectives and audience needs. Her ability to blend creativity with strategy allows her to create high impact content that not only resonates with audiences but also delivers measurable. Gloria shares valuable insights on leveraging content to build brand authority, foster customer relationship, and drive business growth. That is who will be speaking with us today. Ma Gloria, please, you can have the floor. Thank you so much for your time, and we are glad to have you here.
Oh my God, thank you so much for that very serious intro. Um, thank you, thank you. Excited to be here. And also, I think time is really fast spent, so we can just jump right into it. Today, we're talking about content creation and how that can be an asset for your business, whatever kind of business it is that you have or you're planning to go into. That's what the focus for today is going to be. And this is just a quick overview of what we'll be going over during this session: the role of content as a business asset, how to create trust and connection with your audience, steps to create an effective content strategy, and how to create content that leads to more sales and customer loyalty, and common mistakes to avoid in your content marketing. Those are the main things that we'll be focusing on this evening. And I've already been introduced, so I won't like go over this again. But yeah, so let's jump right into it. First of all, we're going to talk about the content. I mean, the power of content in business growth. I think that obviously as time has gone and content creation and the social media space has become more and more popular, people are starting to understand how powerful content creation is, not just to people that are personal content creators or people that want to be influencers or skit makers, but also in business and business growth. I kind of see content creation for businesses as free marketing, really, because previously more traditional marketing and advertising, if you wanted to do that, you had to go to the radio station, go to TV station, pay for a billboard, all of that. But with social media and all of that, it's literally free. The only thing you're paying for is data, So that's kind of how I see content creation, and the amount of people that you can reach is literally limitless. So yeah, content is not just marketing, it's an asset that works for you 24/7. Like, I want us to think of content creation as an employee that is always on the clock, always working. Because even when you've created content and you've put it out there, even when you're asleep, your content is out there. People can come across your page, can come across your videos at any point in time. So content is like that employee that is always there working for you all of the time. And when you create great content and content that is good, this obviously increases your visibility and attracts you to the right audience, which is what I believe everybody wants, not just business owners, but even personal content creators. But most especially as a business person, you want to make sure that you're reaching the right people. Because imagine, let's say you're selling cars, for example, and that's what your content is about. Let's say you sell luxury cars, and that's what your content is about. But the audience, your content is being shown to people that are in like their teenagers or people that are in their early 20s. Normally those are not that's not your target audience. Those are not the people that can afford your products or afford your services. So when you create great content, it increases your visibility and it attracts the right audience to your space. And we'll go in more into that later. And then I just wanted to highlight, I don't think I wanted us to do more of an interactive session for this next point, which is examples of businesses that grew through content marketing. So just maybe think of any business or anyone that through their content creation, either by posting on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, they were able to like increase sales and all of that. I don't know if anybody wants to go. Just give us an example of someone that you know. It doesn't have to be like a big or a popular business, but just somebody that they were able to increase their sales through content creation. We see all these stories all the time on TikTok. I don't know if anyone wants to go.
Kai, nice speaker.
Yeah, you can.
So about the question that you asked about an example of business or businesses that grew through content marketing. Actually, I know one at my vicinity here, and also that is quite even relating to my profession as a veterinary medical student there about all professional. So there is this pharmacy actually around my vicinity that I knew them through TikTok. Knew
Mm-hmm.
them through TikTok. I knew them through TikTok. They have a YouTube channel, and also I think they have uh I think yes Instagram that I do watch their post even before getting admission to school. So luckily seeing them at school was somehow enthusiastic to get material from the shop per se. So and the reason why I love to get material from them is because I've seen them like through some certain social media even before I gain admission to our institution. So because of that, that should I call it pre-known thought of them is quite giving me one attention of getting materials from the shop per se. So I know that organization, that pharmacy rather.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Paul, for that example. And this, like the example you gave is so great because every single one of us, if you go somewhere and it's like how when you go to the supermarket or the store and you want to buy something, you always go for the brands that you're more familiar with and you're more hesitant to like, and you're more hesitant to try out brands that you don't know because again, you don't know this brand, you've never seen, you've never heard of it. But when you come across a business or a service that you've been introduced to previously, either through a video, a flyer, or something, you'll be more inclined to patronize that business. And also, that is the thing about content marketing. It's not everybody that watches your content that is going to buy from you or purchase from you immediately they watch it. But over time, you get to build that trust, build that community, and that, eventually transforms into sales. And all of this leads transform into sales. Yeah, thank you for that, Paul. So, according to HubSpot, businesses that prioritize blogging are 13 times more likely to see positive ROI. That's a huge number. So, if you're not prioritizing blogging or any form of content creation, really, you're 13 times less likely to see a positive ROI. But yes, that's that on that. Next, we're going to talk about why content creation matters for sales. Because sometimes I think some people think that, okay, I'm trying to sell something. Again, I'm not trying to be an influencer or be a celebrity or anything. I'm trying to sell, maybe I'm selling bag or I'm selling Gary or I'm selling just whatever it is I'm selling. Why does content creation matters? And the first thing is that content creation educates your potential customers about your products and services. Back to what I said earlier, when someone comes across your business, they don't know anything about it. Like if someone just sees your page, they don't know anything about it. But if you have content on your page that talks about what it is that you do, how your services are beneficial to these people, then they get to know about your page and know about your business and they become more familiar with it. And eventually these people start buying your product. So which is why it's also important the kind of content that you create. There's this guy I know on TikTok. He has like a fish farm or something like that. I can't remember his name, but he does all these videos where he like is a catfish farm where he would like show you the different species of fishes, why this one grows faster than this one, why this one does all of this. So he's educating people, but he's also through that educating, he's also making sales because people now know that okay, this is what I'll rather go for, this is what I'll rather go for. So that is the power of content rather than just like coming and posting, rather than him just coming online and posting all of just posting the fish and saying 1 kg of smoked fish for this amount, 2 kg for this amount, and all of that. He comes and he tells you about what it is that you're buying and all of that. Also, content creation helps in decision making and moves your customers down the sales funnel. And this is a follow up of the first point. When again, if someone is trying to decide, especially in like the TikTok generation and the Instagram generation, I'm sure we all know that TikTok is basically like a search engine And how the way I use TikTok personally is that if I want to buy something, I literally go on TikTok and I search it and I see what other people have said about that product or what other people have said about that vendor. So when you create content that resonates with your customers and content that educates people and talks about what it is that you do, it helps people to be more informed about your brand, which in turn helps them in their decision making process. And then it moves them down, like from being just a lead to becoming an actual customer. Um, yeah. Thirdly, content creation or creating content, it helps to build brand credibility and trust. I don't think anybody here would purchase something from a brand that they don't trust. Back to my supermarket example, there's a reason why when you go to the store, you go and you buy from the brands that you know or the brands that you've tried out before because you trust them, you've bought their products and they've worked for you. So when you create content, you put yourself out there and people become familiar with your services, your products, and what it is that they do. They get to know you and they get to know that okay, this is a credible supplier, this is a credible vendor, and they know that they can trust you and they can trust the recommendations you make, the products that you sell and all that. Because without trust, it's very unlikely that people would purchase from you. It's very, very unlikely. And then content creation also differentiates your business from other competitors. I think almost everything is being sold online right now. Whatever it is that you think you're selling, there are like 10, 20, sometimes even 100 people selling the same thing. But I believe that at the end of the day, we're all unique and there's something unique about the way you're doing what you're doing. So when you put yourself out there, you put your business out there, you are able to create a story around your brand and your business and what you're doing. And this makes you to stand out from your competitors. Let's say, for example, you're a nutrition coach or a nutritionist, and there are hundreds, if not even thousands, of nutritionists on Instagram, on TikTok, and all of that. But by the time you've created a story about why you're doing what you're doing, let's say, for example, you're someone that you were unhealthy or you had health challenges and all of that, and then you decided to take your health seriously, and this now led you down this path, and you're passionate about helping other people, you know, get better with their health and deal with health challenges and all of that. That is a story that you've created. That's what sets you apart from another nutritionist that is probably just doing that for the sake of doing it. They're just like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this thing to make money. And the other person, they might also have their why and have their reasons. But our different reasons and our different whys for what we do is what differentiates us from competitors and is able to attract the ideal audience and the ideal clients from us. And then the last point is 81% of this is just a statistical fact. 81% of shoppers conduct online research before making a purchase. Back to the TikTok example I gave, like we use social media as a search engine. You always, before you buy something, you would go to check what are people saying. Even when you want to buy something online, let's say Jumia or Amazon or AliExpress, for example, you are more likely to buy from a vendor where you go through the reviews and you see that okay, oh, someone said I like this product, the product was good, compared to a vendor that just has like very few reviews. So yeah. Next, we're going to talk about building trust through content. So I'm just going to give a few points on how to build trust through your content. Because like I said, without trust, people are unlikely to purchase from you. So the foundation of everything, not everything, but like the foundation of what you do should be about building trust and credibility. Because when you also do that, that's when you have returning customers. Someone might purchase from you once, and if you gave them they had a bad service or they got a bad product from you, they will not come back because you've shown that your product is not trustworthy. But when you're able to prove that your products and your services are trustworthy, that's how you have returning clients. And I believe that that's the dream for every business owner. Nobody wants to just have clients that just buy once and never buy again. We all want to have returning customers. So the first point is to be consistent. This is like a given. I feel like everybody knows this. Is like you cannot open your shop once in a month or two times in a month and expect that people would, you know, trust you or feel like you're a reliable person. Imagine you're like, let's bring this to like the physical space. Imagine you go to the market and there's one shop that the man just opens once a month or twice a month or three times a month. You feel like, first of all, you feel like this person is not serious and they really don't like need the money. So when you show up consistently and people consistently see you in your face, like see you in their face or see you around, they feel like, okay, this is someone that I can trust. This person knows what they are doing and all that. And then by the time you combine consistency with adding value, that's like the golden jackpot, because you're adding value consistently. People now know that, first of all, you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, and they know that they can trust you. And secondly is to be authentic. People want to connect with people. At the end of the day, we're all looking for connection. We're all craving connection. So you want to be authentic with how saturated the social media space can be. What makes you stand out and what makes you different from everybody else is you, is the way that you're able to show up as yourself, not as everybody else is showing up. So not because, let's say you sell clothes, for example. So because everybody is doing this particular kind of content, everybody is making this kind of outfits. If that is not authentic to you and that doesn't feel true to you, you should not show up like that. You should always, like, your goal should always be to show up as authentically as possible. That is how you're able to build connection and build trust with your audience, because you're not just doing the generic thing and you don't have like a follow the crowd mentality. Whatever the crowd is doing, you're just mindlessly following and mindlessly following. And then number three is to provide value. Like I already said, um, adding value. Everybody has a question or something. So when you add value, the best way to add value is usually through informational or educational content. But when you provide value and you solve people's problems, they're able to trust you, and that makes you a credible person. So, let's say you have a service where you are. Let me go back to the nutritionist thing. Obviously, as a nutritionist, your main goal is that at the end of the day, you probably want people to book one-on-one consultations with you or something like that. But for you to get from the point of people just coming to your page and seeing the contents that you have to now booking a consultation or buying your course or your meal plan or whatever it is that you have to provide value. You have to give them something in exchange, or something in exchange for the time that you're spending on your page before they get to that point. So providing value is one sure way to build trust. And like I said, it also comes off as you know what it is that you're doing. Uh, yeah. Next is engage. Yeah, this is kind of a given. Your life is give and take, really. So engage with your customers, engage with your followers, engage with other people within your niche, whatever business it is that you do. Engage with people within your niche, have conversations through comments, conduct polls on your stories, ask questions. I think that one great way to engage with your audience and to build that community and build that trust is through stories. So when you're someone that shows up consistently on your stories, because stories feel a lot more personal than, like, posting on your feed. And when you show up on your stories and you ask questions or you give comments or you start a conversation or you do a poll, all of those things, it makes your audience and your followers and your customers or whoever it is that's consuming your content feel like they know you. So engaging is one sure way to build trust and credibility. And yeah, 90% of consumers say authenticity is important when deciding which brand to support. I already spoke about this earlier on. Again, be authentic to yourself and what it is that you stand for. So, this is a follow up on the previous slide, creating a connection and building community. So, we're going to talking about how to create connections and build communities. Number one thing is storytelling. So, I believe that no matter what it is that you're doing, or no matter the kind of content that you're trying to put out there, or the service that you're trying to promote, or the product that you're trying to sell, there is a way for you to incorporate storytelling into that. In 2024, we saw the rise of how storytelling just took over everything. Storytelling took over trending audios or like aesthetic videos and all of those things. Everybody wants to, like, it's like, what story are you telling me through this video? I'm watching this video now. What is the point of this? It's not just to make it aesthetic, make it cute. You can still do those things, of course. Obviously, your content, the quality of your content should not be bad. That's like the baseline for starting. Make sure that the quality of your content is, at least it should be good. But storytelling is what takes it up higher, and is what again helps you to build that community, because it makes your audience feel like they know you. It makes your audience feel like they know you. Let's say you're a you sell clothes, you're a thrift vendor, and then you decide to vlog a day in my life, trying to like as a business owner or a day going to the market or something, and you're able to tell the story of how or you went to the market and the challenges that you faced and all of those things. After watching that, personally as a consumer, you would be more inclined, or I would be more inclined to patronize that brand and all because you've told me a story and I feel like I know you a bit more, I know you a bit better. And that is how you build community because your community is a group of people that basically know you to a certain extent and they support what it is that you're doing. And when you have a community, that is how you are able to have returning customers and returning clients. So, using social media to foster relationships with your customers, just because you're a business, again, I think just because you're a business, that doesn't mean that you have to be overly professional or allow over professionalism to kill you. There's nothing wrong with, let's say, you have like you're following one of your customers back or something, and you see that they post maybe they had a baby or they graduated or something. There's nothing wrong with you sending them a message saying, "Oh, congratulations for this," or I know so just these little ways that you engage with your customers, you're able to build a relationship with them, and they also feel like you care about them. It's not just oh come and buy and give me money and all of those things. And then number three is encouraging user-generated content and testimonials. I'll focus more on the testimonials part because again, this builds your credibility. When you have testimonials, I think that as a business owner, every time that someone purchases something from you should encourage them to leave you a review or drop a testimonial because that helps you so much. There are some, and I think you should have like a highlight on your Instagram that is just for reviews and testimonials so that when someone comes to your page, they can immediately just go there and see what other people have said about your business and or your service or your products. That just makes again that makes you more trustworthy. That makes you more credible and you're able to build a connection better that way. The next point is hosting live sessions, Q&As, and interactive sessions. Content, sorry, that's more toward stories as well. Just building a connection and a community to with a group of people that feel like they know you, they care about you, and know. Because again, like I said, it is your community that would come back and keep repurchasing from you. And not just because they're your community, your services should also be good, your products should also be good. But like I said, they are like whatever it is you're doing, there are 10, 100, 1,000 people doing that online. What would make you succeed is the connection that you have with your audience and the community that you've been able to build. And we have another statistical fact, which is that 76% of people are more likely to trust content shared by real people over brands. And this is why you see brands engage the services of influencers and all of that, because the people are more likely to purchase something that their favorite influencer said is good or is this. They might have seen your brand somewhere else. They might have seen it on Instagram, on TikTok, or even on billboards. But when their favorite influencer or somebody that they trust says, "Oh, you guys come and see this thing. Oh. I use this for this, or I did this with it and it works," they are more likely to purchase this product. Yeah. And then now I've said all of this, and I'm sure I don't know. Maybe someone is wondering, like, okay, how am I supposed to get started with content creation? Or you're on here and you want to start creating content for your business, but you don't know how to start. First of all, I'll say don't overthink it. It's very easy to overthink content creation and overthink the whole process and just, get in your head. First of all, don't overthink it. Then after you're done not overthinking it, then you want to first of all identify your ideal audience because this will now lead or guide you on everything else that you're supposed to do. So you want to identify who is your ideal audience and who is it that you're speaking to. Is your ideal there's this thing called your ideal um client persona. So where you basically come up with a personality of who your ideal client is. Are they male? Are they female? What's their race? What's their nationality? What's their age range? What is their problem and how are you solving that problem? So for example, if you are a skincare brand, I believe that your ideal audience, I mean, to be honest, your ideal audience can be men, but with the way our society is set up, your ideal audience will more likely be women. And or let's say you have like a period care brand or something like that. So you need to know who your ideal audience is because this now allows you to kind of tailor everything else that it is that you're doing. And then choose the right platform to post on. Some people push for, like, post everywhere and all of that, but I think that different social media platforms have different strategies. For example, TikTok is more real in a sense, or it's like more authentic. If you see content that like goes viral on TikTok, it's not always the content that was like super strict and super professional or super aesthetic and all, because TikTok, it just thrives more on that, you just being yourself and showing up as yourself. While Instagram, on the other hand, is more, more curated, more like aesthetic and all of those things. Then YouTube is more for like long form content and people that want to teach, not just people that want to teach, obviously, but for more long form content. And then LinkedIn is for more like very professional services. So for, all the tech girlies and all the tech boys, you know, all the serious people. Not that there's no job that is unserious, but I'm sure you guys get what I mean. That's what LinkedIn is for. So choosing the right platform. For example, if you are selling shoe and bag, LinkedIn is not going to be the ideal platform for you, if we're being honest. You can shall make it because anything is possible. But if you're selling shoes and bags, your ideal platform is going to be Instagram and TikTok. And then when you've done that, you now tailor your content to that platform. So you're choosing the right platform. And I think in the beginning, or when you're still trying to find your footing, it's just like it's important that you just focus on one or two platforms so that you're not overwhelmed. Next up, you want to choose the kind of content that you want to create. I think this will also largely depend, not largely, but to an extent, depend on the kind of services that you're providing or the products that you're selling. So you can choose to do videos. I believe that everybody should do videos and everybody should do reels, because that is what these platforms push. Like, that is like the attention span of people is so short. Nobody is really going to sit down and read like a blog post. But there are people that still read blogs and there are people that still do blogs and they are successful. So that's why I left all of that in there, because it depends on who your ideal audience is and all of that. So choose the type of content to create. Is it videos? Is it pictures? Is it going to be reels? Is it going to be carousels? And then even within the type of content that you choose to create, you should also, if you're going to choose to create videos, what kind of videos are you creating? Are you creating long form videos? Are you creating short form videos? Are your videos going to be entertaining? Are they going to be educative? All of those things are factors that you need to um, decide and all of that. Next up, after deciding the type of content you want to create, you now need to come up with your content pillars. I advise everyone to have at least 2 to 3 content pillars, and then create content under those pillars. So basically, a content pillar is just the key topics that you want to talk about. So let's say, for example, you are a gym instructor, or you're a gym bro that wants to start posting on Instagram or on TikTok. One of your content pillars could be nutrition, the other one could be fitness, and then the other one could be, what's this thing called? Um, I think, is it called like supplements, all those things that you take. So when you've identified these content pillars under nutrition, you can now have, oh, you can do a meals that are high in protein, meals that are high in fiber, meals that are this. Under fitness, you can do different types of workouts. Under supplements, you can do different types of supplements that you should take depending on what your fitness goal is and all of that. So when you have content pillars, it makes it so much easier for you to come up with content ideas and all. And then finally, after you've done all of this, you have to create the content. You have to create the content, and a key part to staying consistent as a creator is planning ahead. You have to plan ahead. It's not the day that you want to post the video that you film the video. Is like it just cannot work that way. You find out that you get burned out easily. So it's very important that I always suggest batch creation. So just pick a day. By the time you've planned all of this out and you know what you want to, let's say you want to film for a particular week or for a particular month, pick a day, film what you want to post next week. Let's say, for example, today is Saturday. Saturdays can be your filming days. So you already know you want to post 3 times next week, or you want to post 4 times next week. On Saturday, you already have everything you want to post. So you create all the content on Saturday, and then maybe on Sunday, you edit the video that is supposed to go out on Monday, and you schedule it. So just planning ahead and staying consistent. That is how you stay on top of the game. There's this saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, or something like that. and it applies in this scenario as well. All right. So as I was saying, when you post without a strategy, it's like throwing spaghetti or bread on the wall and trying to see what sticks. It's like, okay, whatever works. Today you film transition. Tomorrow you post customer review. Next tomorrow you post something else. So you need to have a strategy so that you can. When you have a strategy, you're able to identify what's working and what's not working. Number two is ignoring engagements and not responding to comments. Imagine you're walking on the road and you see somebody that you buy something from, and then you greet them or you give them a compliment, and then they look at you and then they just continue walking. There is no way that you're going to, I mean, you might, maybe you're a very good Christian, so you might go back and patronize them, but most likely you would not. So that is what it is when people engage with your content and you don't engage back. And then being inconsistent with posting. Again, back to the example of the person that opens their shop once a month or twice a month. And then finally, making content only about selling instead of providing value. Like, you don't want to come off as too salesy, or that the only thing you care about is making sales. You don't care about your customers. They should just give you money, whatever it is that's going on with them. That's their business. So those are a few mistakes that I think, as a business owner creating content, you should try to avoid. And yeah, and okay, yeah. So if you're struggling to create consistent content, or you've tried the content creation thing for your business and it's just working out, I think outsourcing is something that you should consider. So you can just, everything that I've talked about, you can outsource it to someone and they will handle all of that for you. Outsourcing, you can choose to do that, because at the end of the day, people are busy, or you just don't have, again, you don't have the time to sit down and do all of this thinking and planning and filming and posting and engaging and strategy and all of that. Like a good idea would be to think about how to outsource some of the things that you're unable to handle, or some of the things that are overwhelming to you. So yeah.